Here's how you're going to make better reads on the setter as a middle blocker or as any blocker really. Now I've set the camera on the other side of the net a little further away because I want you to see what it's gonna look like when you're looking at the other side. And then once I show you the hands of the setter, I'll move the camera a little closer so it's kind of more like what your eyes actually see. So there are two main things you want to focus on when it comes to reading the setter, right? The first one is going to actually be before the set even happens, and that's the pass. But it's not just the pass, it's the pass plus the setter's abilities. And let me show you right now. Obviously, on a good pass, the setter is going to have all three options, and you have to be ready for them all. And that's when you're actually going to watch the hands more than anything else. But if the pass is really off the net, for example, right, this is where you combine the pass plus the setter's abilities, right? So if you're playing a setter that is not that good or is not good enough to set the middle from here, then you know it's going to be one of the pin hitters, right? If the setter is good enough to set the middle from here, it's still your advantage because the set still has to travel further to get to the middle set, which makes it a slower set. So it gives you more time to read the middle set. But again, you know it's going to be either a slower middle set where the distance of the ball has to travel is further, or it's going to be one of the pin hitters. Again, based on setter ability, right? A setter might be only able to set a high ball from here and not as much tempo, or a setter could be really good and they can set tempo to both pins. So it's important to know the ability of the setter you're playing against. So if you played against her before, you're gonna know that already. If you haven't, you can watch during Katie lines to kind of guess how good they are to see if they can make plays like this. And last but not least, you can kind of pay attention during the game. If the setter shows you one time that the ball's off the net, but they're gonna be able to set tempo anyway, that means they can do it, so you have to be ready for it. Okay, so again, off net passes are gonna be harder. Passes, another thing that can make passes harder for the setter is if the pass is really in front. Again, if the setter is here, now you know their option is gonna be mostly outside, right? Unless they're really good and they can bring it right side. But again, that depends on the setter's ability. If the setter doesn't have the ability to shoot it back from here, you know it's gonna be outside set or it's gonna be a middle set again from there. Same thing if the pass is way over here, most likely gonna be a back row set to the middle or maybe a right side set. But again, outside set's tougher here, but you still have more time for that as well. All that to say, you're going to base it on where the pass is, plus the setter's abilities. All right, now let's assume you're playing a setter that's really good or you're getting off a really good pass. The thing you have to watch for now are the hands. Again, you are where the camera is right now, so you're gonna see me setting forwards like this. This set going forwards, going to my outside, the set going backwards, going to my right side, right? And what you wanna watch for the hands is this. If they're gonna go set their middle or their outside, the hands are gonna be more behind the ball, right? See how my hands are kind of more behind the ball here? This is going to give me more leverage to push the ball out or to set the ball up to my middle like this. As soon as you see the hands getting more flat, so instead of looking like this, they become more like this, that's gonna be a back set or a slide, right? Or a back one, right? So you're gonna watch the hands when it comes into the setter's hands. If the hands flex back a little bit only, it's probably gonna be outside set. If the hands flex back a lot like this, it's gonna be a right side or a slide. Okay, so I'm gonna set one to the outside regular speed and then we're gonna do it in slow motion so you can kind of see what the hands look like, okay? So here is outside regular speed. Here's the outside in slow motion. Here's a middle set regular speed. Middle set slow motion. Both times the hands are gonna be like this. Now here is a right side set regular speed. Right, you can see it's a split second. When that ball comes in my hands, I just basically let it come down more, and that's when I'm going right side. And here's slow motion. Now, every setter is gonna be a little bit different. Some setters are gonna be really good at hiding it and you're not gonna be able to tell as much, but most setters do kind of show you that right side set as soon as they drop it down. So you can kind of watch it a little bit and you'll be able to figure out from there. Just as a quick side note, another thing you wanna watch for a nice back set is an early arching of the back. So if they're running forward and they're getting that ball like higher up, like basically the higher up they get the ball, the more likely it's gonna be a back set. And they start arching their back like this. I'm over exaggerating, but it's like that. Then you know it's gonna be a back set, right? So as soon as you see this motion where the hips go forward and the back shoulders drop back, you know it's gonna be a back set. So you could be waiting in your spot as a middle, waiting for the pass. You see this, it's probably gonna be a back set. All right, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put you towards the net and I'm gonna set a couple where you can kind of see it from your point of view. And that way you can kind of watch my hands a little more and see if you can tell if I'm going forwards or backwards. All right, so I'm gonna self-toss like this. And I'm gonna set, and all you have to do is watch my hands, just guess where I'm going, okay? I'll do a couple. All right, so hopefully that helps. It is gonna take a little bit of practice, but if you start practicing intentionally watching what the setter's hands do, you're gonna know. And if you really, really care about it, you can actually scout setters and see them. Like, let's say they're in your pool or you know them, you can watch how they backset, what their hands look like, and that's gonna tell you what they're gonna set. And then even before that, continue to build your volleyball IQ of knowing where the pass is, combined with the setter's ability, and that's also gonna help you out in terms of being faster to close those blocks. And then last but not least, this is a higher volleyball IQ thing as well. You wanna think about the setter's tendencies, right? Do they like to set their outside more than their right side? Let's say in the game, the play before, the right side is holding her shoulder, maybe she looks injured, so she might not get as many sets. You kinda wanna keep all those things in mind. You kinda wanna keep all those things in mind when you're deciding who the setter is going to set. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, just let me know.